All right, this is part two of the childhood rolling into adolescence lessons in warfare. But yes, I started at 9. And so I remember being, you know, bullied because God had developed my body a whole lot sooner than He developed other people. And I'm like, again, you all are jealous of things that I have no control over. As a grown woman, I still go through this bullshit to this day. So after you've gone through so many different people, I mean, like so many different people you don't even know wanting to attack you. I had a girl who I was in class with in elementary school. It was her. She was the same age as me. She had a baby sister and she had two older sisters. The baby sister, we're not in the same grade, but I don't even cross your ways in the hallway. We don't even cross pathways in the hallway. But yet, this girl was trying to set me up. This little girl, I'm in the fifth grade, mind you. She had to be a second grader. A second grader. I have not seen this child, don't know this child other than the fact that she got a sister in my class and she got two older sisters and they come and get them. That's all I know. This girl tried to set me up to get jumped by her sisters. Why? I don't know. At this time, my mom's the crossing guard, so my mama ain't play that shit. When I ran stuff down to mama, I'm like, hey, I don't know what's going on. And yes, I told my mama I'm 10 years old and somebody trying to jump me for some shit I ain't even do. You damn right, I told my mama. What else was I supposed to do? My mama didn't play that though. My mama was always in their office letting the principal know like, hey, I don't know what's going on, but no, it's not gonna be that. So it didn't happen, but not even that. God was on my side because the sister that I was in the class with, she told the big sisters, don't do that because she's lying. She ain't said nothing to her. We don't even cross, she get running the whole thing down. Like we don't even see them in the hallway, so she ain't did nothing to her. But it don't end there. There was a friend I had once I crossed over into middle school. Uh, I put her on game. I mean, it just is what it is. These spiritual gifts, I always been knowing, and when I knew something, I told people. I still do that to this day. I'll be a little late on it now because of the backlash, but as I'm getting older, I'm learning not to care. I got a job to do from heaven, and I can't be mad that people don't like what my job requirements are. That's their problem, not mine. So there was a friend that her family member would get her caught up in a lot of things, and I just warned her, like, hey, you might want to watch that because she's setting up all these traps for herself. But you coming to save her every time. Like, nah, that's gonna backfire on you. So of course the cousin got mad, called me out my name at an after school event, and I was just like, okay. 4 years later, here we are in high school. That same cousin, I'm on a Facebook post, we just talking smack about schools versus schools or whatever. This cousin, who I did not say anything to, made it her business to say something to me. Threatens to again get me jumped. I don't know what it was with people wanting to get me jumped, but I'm like, boy, y'all don't know what y'all don't know who I come from, where I come from, and how my folks get down. And come to find out, even one of my male bullies from middle school, these were people who, thug life. It is what it is. I can't lie about where I come from, who my folks is. These people were like under my people. And it's like, oh, so you thought you was gonna tag me and whole time my folks your big homie. You crazy. How you thought that was gonna happen? And I'm not engaging and indulging in the violence because trust me, I got siblings that don't play that about me. And they will always ask what was going on in school. And I honestly feel like they knew. My brother will always tell me and still tell me to this day, I got people watching you. And I'm like, that's creepy. Don't do that. He was like, no, it's for protection. I have people watching you. So when things go wrong, you let me know. But I'm like, you're my brother and I love you, and you're definitely not worth being in a jail cell. And I understand that protection that my brother has over me because I'm his baby sister. And I am pretty much both of my siblings' first kid before they became parents. But that's the love I have for my siblings. It's like, yeah, I understand y'all looking after me, but these some kids my age. If y'all 12 and 9 years older than me, y'all 12 and 9 years older than them. I can't let y'all do that. Like, come on, it's gonna get the charges you guys would get would be real crazy. But it just goes to show that when your siblings care. And I was though. They probably could feel it spiritually, and I just was hiding it. But yeah, I was going through hella shit. It went bad to the point where I was coming home with some bruises. Cause nah, baby, it wasn't gonna never get that far. But yeah, the trying to set me up to get in trouble, trying to set me up to get in fights and stuff like that. Of course, it was there. There was actually a time it happened, and the friends that who did know me, I grew up with childhood, went to elementary school. They would block me from it because they were like brothers. We had known each other since we were 5. Like these people knew my mama knew their mom was like all of that. And so I remember one of them blocking me from trying to defend myself after the guy had pushed me or whatever. It's like, no, no, let him get in trouble. Don't you do it. Which I did end up with it one day and he got a 3. And I'm just like, hey, I was cool until you put your hands on me. Once you put your hands on me, like all rules is out of here with the no violent and no, you can't just be doing that. And so not only at this point again was the bullying and putting me down, basically making me feel low and terrible about myself. Not only were the tactics coming from family members, coming from the people at school, but then it started coming from the people that, I call myself having a little puppy crush, little puppy, little dating from. I'm talking about the spirit of rejection has been very heavy over me. And that's something I want y'all to know that these are spirits. Poverty, rejection, um, lust, and you don't always have to lust doesn't always have to be sexual. You could be lusting over money, you could be lusting over friendships, you can be lusting out of anything, trying to obtain something so bad to the point where you idolize it. That's lust. Lust and idolatry kind of go hand in hand. And so I remember wanting to fit in, and at this point, it just got to a point where I was feeling like the odd girl out. And I was just like, I'm making friends, but then I'm not on what my friends on. And the guys at this point, you know, the hormones is raging. And it ain't to say that mines weren't, but it was just like, nah, I got a big nigga for a daddy. I can't be playing these type of games out here. It's just what it was. My daddy a big dude. He is. And honey, I just look at me, still caring about other people. I just wasn't willing to put nobody's son through that. But at this point, I went through so much rejection, and it seemed like I was getting rejected from everybody and everything, that the spirit of unaliving was very heavy on me. And by the grace of God, I have not committed that. But there was a time where I was fighting it really strong and really heavy, and I'm pretty sure my own like immediate family didn't even know that, but it was all tactics of the devil to get me to just quit. And he still used tactics to this day to try to get me to quit. So more in part three.